Got everything set up. I'm ready to go here. Welcome back, everyone, to a wonderful lecture with me. Another boring lecture. I hope you guys can keep up and have a fun time with me. But as always, risk disclaimer is right here. It's really important you read through that. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I'm just giving you my opinion on price and where I think it's going to go next. You obviously have to assume trading and the risks involved with it. That's all on you. You choose to push the button. I am not telling you to do that because I'm not licensed. So just read through this and be aware of that. I'm going to pull this away. If you need to pause the video and look through it, understand it better. If you're new, go for it. But I'm going to take this away. So think that everything is in the frame. I apologize if it isn't. I can always re-upload another video and talk about it later, but let's have some fun tonight. So I kind of wanted to dedicate like a good half hour or even just like till 11 o'clock because it's like 10:25 here. So I want to kind of break down price a little bit. So I deleted everything. I haven't my screenshots like in my journal. So let's go back to redoing a couple of these things. So weekly chart, I really like this one. So we have this volume imbalance right here. Change the color of that to a different background. Let's give it a nice gray background. Something easy to see. Like the text bold. A little bit bigger, like 16. And if you don't know what a volume imbalance is, you need to refer to ICT's videos and just study a little bit more. But a volume imbalance, I'm gonna cover that. So for those of you that don't know what it is, obviously, like I said, go to ICT. But a volume imbalance is basically like there's no volume in the candlestick. Like, see right here, it's just a wick. Like there's not really much of a body in here. But right here, there's like no volume. There's a wick right here. So this to me is a volume imbalance, just like this one and this one right here. And this one, obviously, I'm not paying attention to, but that is a volume imbalance. It's just like there's no body volume. So I really like that concept. I think that's great, but that's not all I see here. So I see market structure is really bullish. So that can change in a blink of an eye. You can wake up the next day and the market can crash. But I don't really think that's going to happen, obviously, but I'm just saying that because that is a possibility. So buy-side liquidity rests above this weekly short-term high. So old highs have buy-side and sell-side below let me say that again. So old highs and old lows have buy-side liquidity above the marketplace and below the marketplace. So if you have a short-term high, there's likely buy-side liquidity below that, and then if you have a short-term low, there's likely sell-side liquidity below that. So in this case, we have a short-term high, there's buy-side liquidity above that. We also have, call this, a short-term high here. And as you can see, the market is in fact trying to reach up above that. And it's giving retail the idea that if they sell short here, they're going to put their stop right above this high, or this one, and they already got knocked out, obviously. But above these highs is buy side liquidity. And then obviously we need to get up into this volume imbalance and fill that in. I can't speak on volume imbalances being filled in, but I think that that's what he's getting at, but I don't use it like that, because if he says it, then it's true. Other than that, I don't think anything of it. I just think that it's just offering volume in that imbalanced area where there was no volume on this contract. It doesn't mean that just because on the continuous contract that because there is volume, no, hear me out, because there is volume here on the continuous contract does not mean that the contract month for this particular asset, the S&P, it doesn't mean that the contract month just doesn't think about that. Like, price is aware of the fact that this is here. Versus a continuous contract doesn't actually have the same price action here. You'll just have to look at that. I've talked about that in a previous video, but he really threw that out there, and I really like that he said that because that really helps out. So on the weekly chart, I don't really see much of anything unless you're new, which in that case you should be learning from ICT. But we do have a couple of things that I'll just throw on the chart because I see them. So we have that shift in market structure here, short-term high taken, fair value gap right here, wicks come in there, and obviously we've traded higher. I was not expecting us to not take out the sell side below here, or I was expecting us to go below that. I was kind of thinking it would happen, but you know, it's the market. I can't do it perfectly. But did I take a losing trade because of it? No, I just watched price. So we'll see that on the daily chart, and obviously he has mentioned that a couple of times, and I do agree with him that those stops look nice, but I don't think it's going to happen because I think it's just playing the six sister idea that he's taught. I can't speak on that, but I think that the S&P and the Dow are playing catch up with the NASDAQ. I've noticed that the NASDAQ is just accelerating to the upside. I'm not going to talk about that. I just know that that's something that I'm considering right now. So let's mark out this weekly fair value gap. Balance. And we're going to slap it right to this candle. I like to make mine green. Like that. And then I also like to call them a BISI, because it's also a BISI. It's a buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. Now that it's left it, I'm treating it as a balanced price range on the weekly time frame. Other than that, the only thing I see is this down close candle. A nice little order block right here. So you can take your trend line tool, snap it to the wick, or not the wick, the body, because he has mentioned that it's got a short, stubby little wick like that. I mean, this one's a little bit more, but he just slaps it right on top of the candlestick, and I love that. So let's do the plus OB order block. Boom. Simple analogy right here. Let's say basically you buy here, and you're selling above this, and then you're selling obviously above the short-term high. Like, you're buying down here, and you're just waiting for it to take out a short-term high. So you'd sell here, you'd sell up here, here, in this volume imbalance, up in here in this void right here, and then above the short-term high. There's plenty of opportunities to sell your long position. So all these PD arrays have been brought down into the daily chart now. So when I say equal lows, that means that these right here, like just all of this down here is it just looked like something that could be right like literally the algorithm, in my opinion, I could just picture it going down here and taking all the sell side down, or taking the sell side out down here. I agreed with him that that is something that I could see happening, but we're not getting that, and I was kind of expecting that to be a possibility, and obviously that didn't actually happen. So yeah, ICT gets it wrong sometimes, but like you said, it looks a little bit too clean, like too smooth. And when the market leaves smooth edges like that, it doesn't stay like that for long. And I've noticed that, so I can see why he's saying that. But this right here, like these lows, they're so equal to each other. But right now, I'm not interested in that. I'm looking to see if this order block that we now have, the mean threshold of it can be supported. So that's what I'm watching. We have a gap up that happened on Sunday, which I wasn't even in the least bit surprised by that. I expected that one to happen, but I don't expect price to just go whoop, rum right through that. No, I don't expect that. So let's analyze what we see here. So I personally see a sell side taken right here. Now we take our light bulb tool up. Let's see. I don't know how to go about this. So short-term high taken right here. And you might be thinking, especially if you're not experienced, you might be looking at this one right here. So you might be looking short-term high taken, fair value gap taken, or not fair value gap taken, sorry. Fair value gap forms, your long, and your stop goes below this order block. So the problem that I saw with that and what I was seeing is the other asset classes, so the NASDAQ and the Dow. My reasoning for why I wouldn't put my stop below this order block is because of the Dow. Because those relatively equal lows that it had on a daily chart. That's why I was not surprised that it went right through the mean threshold of this, came down, and then you can take it a step further. It's kind of cool. So, just kind of watching it down here, because the wicks are gapped. So, right here, I was looking at the 0.5 on the fib between this wick's low and this wick's low. I was looking to see if it wants to reject that and go higher, and it did. I mean, obviously it came down a little bit lower, but I kind of thought that was kind of interesting how it did that. Not anything that is like, I'm not considering that right now because that's just something that happened. I would consider it later if we went below this fair value gap right here. Then I would be looking to see if we could go below these lows and then take off the upside. But I don't know what's going to happen. I have an idea that we're probably going to take this short-term high out. We're going to probably trade up in here and take that old high up over here on the weekly chart. That's more of what I'm thinking. But I need to see price actually show that it wants to do that. But for now, I think that's going to happen. So we have sell side taken. Shift in market structure here as well. And like I said, the fair value gap didn't exactly pan out for somebody that had their stop right here, but if you were paying attention to the Dow, you would understand that maybe that was not a good spot to put your stop loss. And maybe you just kind of wanted to analyze that and be like, if you were long down here, maybe your stop would still be below this low, and then now that you see prices delivering higher, then you would adjust your stop to a higher area. So with that being said, one moment here. Oops. Sorry about that. Had something go off. So, yeah. So you'd want to pay attention to that, and then move your stop up. So I'm going to skip past all that part. I'm going to delete all these because they're distractions. And I want you to pay attention right here. So sell side taken, shift to market structure above this high, and then now we have a shift to market structure above this high, as well as this high. So in my opinion, the market structure shift above this high right here, I like that it went above this high. I like that it went above this high, but I especially like that it went above this one. And the reason why is because, well, that just increases my confidence. Like, we took this short-term high out and this one out. That tells me that we're probably going to try and run up in here. It just increases my confidence. You're not going to understand why unless you get used to it, but like, I like to see that it's willing to trade above a couple of weeks worth of price action. So if you go look at the weekly chart, we traded up above last week's high and the previous week's high. And now I think we're ready to accelerate to the upside. I'm thinking that Wednesday will probably be the low of the week. I think with the price action today gapping up like that, we need to come down in here and rebalance some of this. And then we need to reach down into this order block. So next up, my eyes are not paying attention to this shift, because I already know it's there. So I'm going to remove that from the chart, and I'm going to consider this fair value gap right here. We'll bring that all the way up Friday. Oops. We're going to make this red. So that's going to be a civvy. So a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. So this, to me, is balanced on both sides. But however, we have price action that is just, it's only Tuesday going into this week. Like, we just started this week. So I'm not sitting here thinking, okay, well, we're just gonna stop right here and then we're gonna turn around and go up here. Can that happen? Yes. But I'm looking at this order block, so I'm looking at a couple of levels here. So, and that's not it. It just, that, like, this alone is not it. Like, we have to look at the new week opening gap too, as well. But this is just one stepping stone to it. So we've got our order block right here. I'm gonna change this to trend line tool. So again, I'm gonna put it right on Friday. I'll call this the order block, not on a daily chart. I mean, you can use the wick, but I'm just gonna do the body because this is a really nice body, and we just have all this like unfilled imbalance right here, and I think we're gonna work our way into that. So I'm watching that, and then I haven't gotten to the new week opening gap yet, so we're gonna go down to a 5-minute chart quick. That's usually how I do it. Notice how we're below it. Not quite. I mean, we're still inside of it, but we're in the lower portion of it, and we're obviously making our way down towards these relatively equal lows right here. I was kind of watching right in here. When I saw this, I was looking to see if we could come down here and take this out, and then eventually we would come down in here and accumulate more long positions. So you take your new week opening gap. I have not done that this week because I've been busy. So 5-minute time frame. I take the open of this candle right here. Your opening right here is going to be 421975. Sorry, that was incorrect. Not 41275. The high is that. Wait. No, I said that wrong. Sorry, I apologize. We opened and then we closed down. So we opened right up here. So the opening on this candle is 4219.75. I don't even know what I said. I think I said 4175. That was wrong. But look up there, up here, right up here. Look at there. And then snap your trend line tool to that. There you go. New week open again. Then we're going to draw that out in time. I'm not going to get into the new day and the opening range gap or anything like that. I'm just going to keep it simple with the new week opening gap because I really like that concept. I'm studying it for months and months. So, take this trend line tool, dash, simple, new week opening gap. I'm going to clone it. Notice how they opened it here. So the opening on this candle is 423025. And as you can see here, I got the trend line tool just like that. Shift, snap it straight, and we're gonna go all the way out to Friday. Should be Friday. I go back to the hourly chart. Make sure we're on Friday at least. No, we're on Thursday. And then over a couple more. Right there to the last hour of trading here. Extend those levels out in time, just like that. Oops. Alright, there we go. So, hourly chart, not really seeing anything as far as price action being in this area. I think we're going to come down in here. And I also think that we could come down in here. So, I don't really like the hourly time frame. I think I'm going to start with a 4-hour. So, if we are bullish, I personally think that if you take a fib tool, this is the best way I do it, and I don't claim to analyze it perfectly, but I'm going to snap it to the bodies here. It's not really like that. And I'm just going to keep it right here. So I'm going to be watching this gap right here because we have this super energetic price run higher. Change this to green. Hold on 20 minutes now. Change that to green. Close the BISI. That's our balance that we're watching. I'm going to extend this baby out in time. Oops. Text in the middle. Just like that. Okay. So we have our BISI, and I would definitely pay attention to this one down here too. But the only reason I'm not right now is because I just need more information. Because I'm really, really bullish right now. So I'm just watching this one right now. Because that 50% level is right beneath it. I think it's going to dig in here and stuff, but I have to look at the NASDAQ and all that to see if we're actually going to do that. So tomorrow when I observe price, I'm going to take a look at that. But for right now, I'm just showing that. But if I were to go look at the NASDAQ, I may consider this level down here, and you should too. I'm going to be considering it myself. We'll see what happens in the next few days, but I'm going to really, really pay attention to this. But in my head, this is balanced, this is balanced, because this left it. So in my head, I'm thinking right here. But I'm not going to put the farm on it right now, I'm just watching it. So let's go to the hourly chart, keep it simple. So I personally still think that this is a nice area of interest. Sell side here, and take that. Short-term low. That's where price will likely draw to. Let's go out to tomorrow. Last hour trading here, 1500. Let's mark out sell side. Quickly. Trend line to this. Nice solid line. There you go. There's your sell side liquidity right here below the short-term low. Has my attention. I'm going to be watching for that tomorrow. And anything that would change my mind, obviously, would be a change in the state of delivery. So if we took out some of these highs right here, then I probably would look at this as a breakaway gap down here. All this would just not be relevant to me. So that's my attention right here, and then obviously into this gap right here. Other than that, I really don't know what to expect as far as tomorrow is concerned. I just think that tomorrow's probably going to close down, probably take out this short-term low right here, and this one, and obviously everything can change tomorrow. But that's just what I'm thinking is a draw on liquidity for tomorrow, and then if we can get some bullishness coming in, and we could probably come back up and start accelerating to the upside. But I'm thinking an explosive week this week, not to be dramatic or anything, but I think we're going to see a lot of higher prices this weekend. It's going to be a very, very violent upside movement. So be prepared, take notes, and just be prepared for some interesting study material to come out. And yeah. I'm going to mark this up myself. So sorry. Oops. It's kind of boring. Sorry. Because there's not a lot of excitement in my voice, because it is. That's kind of boring. So we got short-term low here, short-term low here, short-term low here. I'll just sell side resting below that, and then we also have a gap right here. Gap right here, gap right here. Pay attention to those weekly and daily levels. And to be honest with you, that's all I do. Like, it's that simple. And then once I see it's done that, then I'm like, okay, see ya. I'm not interested in you anymore. It's kind of interesting how we, like, if you look at right here, you have a 2022 model right here. It's not even, I don't even know what's difficult about this anymore because I'm so used to it. But really quick, take your rectangle tool. Yes, I do not trade on Sundays and Mondays. I've never really have an interest in doing that. But as you can see, 2022 model, shift in market structure. Fair value gap, took sell side right here. Obviously it did before it traded in there, so it already went below this, but I think it's going to go below these lows right here. And then I think it's going to trade up into the consequent encroachment of this wick, mean threshold, and then come down and accelerate down into these lows down here that I mentioned. Way down here. How many handles is that? Usually take an info line to do that, so let's just say you are in this fair value gap right here. You just want to aim for down here. So that's 26. I mean, that's a lot. I would probably stick with this low right here and try to narrow it down to any other gaps that you may see. So like your 5-minute time frame. Obviously this all looks balanced, so like right there's a gap, and everything else is like, you're gonna exit here at this volume imbalance right here, volume imbalance right here, sell side below this low. When you have plenty of opportunities, oh, here's a fair value gap right here. There's one where you can exit at, and ultimately that's as simple as it gets. It doesn't get any more difficult than that. Once you understand it, it's not hard. You just gotta trade with rules and all that. But I hope that this helped you guys out. I mean, it doesn't really take much for me to analyze a chart anymore. I mean, obviously these new concepts are really helpful, but I study them as I need to, and if they're helpful to me, I just use them. I like to know where price is going at all times. I like to know what the reason is every time, but I'm not obsessed with it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's fine. Obviously, I didn't show every little thing in here, but this is just a sense of encouragement for other students to know that you're not alone, like we all are struggling. So I hope that this helped out a lot of you. I will be more willing and happy to share my analysis. That way all of you can be encouraged by it. But it's on you to study. So take it seriously. It's worth the work. And all I want to see is me helping other people. So with that being said, I'm going to close this one out because I got to go to bed. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. So hope you found this helpful. And feel free to like click the like button below. Like, I don't need likes, I don't need subscribers, I don't care about that stuff. I just care that people are getting help from me and they're actually able to feel less stress, and they're able to see that they're not the only ones that are struggling in this world, because I struggled with this for the entire year and now I get it. So feel free to like if you found this helpful.